What is going on, you guys? So, dude, I just got back from watching Spider-Man No Way Home, and let me tell you, this was a spectacular fucking movie. I mean, I absolutely enjoyed every minute of the movie. Um, I mean, in the beginning, it started out, like a typical Spider-Man, MCU movie, and as it went on, it just got better and better and better. So, what's going on, you guys? Nicotina here, and really, what we're gonna do is this: the first half of the show is gonna be non-spoilers. I might have some friends kind of rolling through here. I'm depending on if they're still awake or if they want to come on here, but for the first half of the show, I'm not going to do any spoilers. I'm just going to talk about how cool the movie was and what I thought about the movie in general. Second half of the show, I will put up the spoiler logo, and then we'll go ahead and start talking about all the things about the movie that I absolutely loved. And it's going to totally be a spoiler stream at one point once we get to that point. But man, let me tell you, it was such a good movie, such a good movie. I think my internet's like freaking out right now. It was such a good movie though. Just you know, I'll be honest. I thought the special effects early on in the movie weren't that great. I thought they were. It just looked all right. Some parts look really, really good. A lot of parts look really, really good. But there were some parts that could have used a little more work, maybe a little more time. I'm not sure. But as the film went on, it got better and better and better and better. And it was just like, oh my god, this is so crazy. What's up, Abel? We got Venom Hernandez saying, "What's up, Andre? What's up, Venom?" But yeah, no, it was pretty. It was such a good movie. What's up, Andrew Casali? Hey, I saw the film. And guys, I put the poll in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any comments about the movie, definitely leave them here in the chat, and we can talk about it. Is this the best Tom Holland Spider-Man film? Yes, I would say so. I mean, this film really, you know, it really encompasses what it means to be Spider-Man. And there was just so many elements that played into this. Just oh man, just an incredible movie, man, incredible movie. Abel agrees as well. Yes. So we got Fear Jason here in the house, but no, man, it was just the storytelling and the writing in this movie was so good. Um, It was so good. And to see all the villains back on screen again was such a breath of fresh air. Obviously, look, I mean, guys like Willem Dafoe, that guy never ages. So it's like he really didn't even look that much older than he did in the first Spider-Man, which was kind of crazy as it is. But Jamie Foxx had a whole different look, but then they kind of just talked about why he had a different look, because he has his hair is all cut nice and all that. But just the way that the story evolved from the beginning of the movie to where we got to in the third act, I just thought was really, really cool. And I really thought there was a potential that it could get stupid. And I was like, okay, they got to be very careful with this. And they did a really good job. They did a really, really, really good job. And so I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I didn't think there was that many like what the fuck moments in this movie. I actually thought that the writing was actually really good. There may have been a scene here and there. I'd have to really think about it. But overall, though, it was a very entertaining movie, very dramatic movie. Like I said, great storytelling, really cool special effects. It's just yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, Andrew, I would agree. It was a celebration of 20 years of Spider-Man movies. um you know and we'll get more into that later on the show when I start going into spoilers. um but overall, though, man, it was so good. I mean, if you got a chance to see this in the theaters, definitely take the opportunity to do that, because I mean, I did it, and it was phenomenal. I mean, I loved it. It was meant to be seen in the theater. Integrity 101 asks, is it too jokey? No, I didn't think it was too jokey. Sometimes, it's a Marvel movie, so you're going to get a lot of jokes here and there. But I didn't think it was overboard. I didn't think it was a little, it was too much. I thought it was okay for a Marvel movie. I thought it was fine. Um, because I come to expect jokes throughout the Marvel movies, but I felt like they were done in a Marvel tasteful way. So no, I thought it was good. Um, yeah, and everyone seems to like it. Well, because you know what, it just it brings everything together. It just it Tom Holland, his Spider-Man learns so much about what it means to be Spider-Man and the responsibilities that come along with it and the sacrifices they have to make. And it just it the one thing I will say is this: if I'm DC, I'm gonna this is gonna put a lot of pressure on a movie like The Flash because now The Flash has to succeed. If The Flash is a failure and The Flash doesn't succeed, then I don't know what they're gonna do. Because I mean, Marvel basically said, "Okay, you want to go like you want to go multiverse? We'll go multiverse." And I felt like they knocked it out of the park. And not only that, but they set up, the next, the next movies coming up, which was brilliantly done. Brilliantly done. I mean, it was just so good. Let me see. It says here, Andrew says the movie was the first and only time I liked a film with Tom Spider-Man. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm a fan of the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I know he gets a lot of hate, but he doesn't really bother me at all. I like him. But I thought that Tom Holland did a really good job with this role. I thought he did a great job acting. I really felt his character and what he was going through. So he did an extremely good job with this character, and there was a lot of weight to his character because of the story, because of what was happening. There was just so much going on, and I thought he pulled it off really, really well. He did it, and he did a remarkable job with Peter Parker with that character and the role that he was given. He did a great job. I would say that he's definitely put himself in. I know there's only been 3 Spider-Man, but I think he's definitely put himself in that list for some people that this is their favorite Spider-Man. Um, it was just really, really good, really, really good. Um, I won't say that. That was still better. And I'm not taking anything away from, the other Spider-Men that have existed, but I'm saying that like his performance alone, definitely makes an argument to for him to be one of the best Spider-Man. And the cool thing is that we just got done with a trilogy of Tom Holland Spider-Man, and now we're gonna get more. Probably 3 more movies based on his age, which is really awesome. Um, there were some cool things that were in the movie that some of us kind of already knew about. Some of us knew about because guys like to watermark pictures and release them. So that all kind of played out. But it was cool to see it in live action. It was like, whoa, there it is. Venom says, I saw the 3 p.m. showing and it was absolutely experienced to be such a crowd. Yeah, no, and so I saw it here where I live. I'm on the West Coast at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and the crowd was wild, dude. Every time something big would happen, the crowd would just go crazy. Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, dude, this is a great experience, man. Like, it was just so much fun. Um, is Tom Spider-Man a little less a Spider Boy or no? I guess I'm asking, is the character growing? Is he coming to his own? I like Tom, just sick of the Spider Boy stuff. No, I think he's definitely coming into his own. He made a lot of progressions throughout this movie, especially, and I think he learned a lot about the character. And I think he did an extremely good job. The surprises that were in this movie were out of this world. And no, I don't think you're trying to be negative at all. You're just asking, and then it makes total sense. But the surprises that were in this movie, some of which we already kind of assumed were going to be in this movie, uh, were out of this world. I mean, they did a remarkable job. And there's an argument that's always been made that like, oh, you can't have a movie that's too overstuffed. That's gonna have too many characters. That it's gonna feel messy. This film to me didn't feel that way. They were able to kind of bring in a lot of characters, give them enough screen time, and really make it work. So that part of it was really, really cool, and I really enjoyed that part. So far, on the poll that I have up, did you like Spider-Man No Way Home? So far, it's only 5 votes. Okay, but it's 100% fuck yeah. And I mean, that was my choice, was fuck yeah. It was an awesome, awesome movie. Um, Movie had amazing progression for Tom as Peter Parker. Yeah, no, it really did. And not to spoil the movie or anything, but as you got towards the end, um, you know, he really had to do a lot on it. Like, he's really gonna have to do a lot, you know, and he's in a tough situation, and so there's a lot of stuff he's gonna have to do. So I mean, it it was just really, really good, man. Really, really good. I thought the music was really good. Special effects got really good. Uh, in the beginnings, there were some scenes that I thought were just kind of like okay, but like some of the scenes that we saw in the what is it, like the first minute of the movie, when they put that out there, the scenes where he's uh you know uh swinging on, he's web slinging, hanging on to MJ. I loved the way that was filmed, how it was kind of a shaky cam right on them as they're swinging through New York. I thought that was really cool, and that whole scene I thought was just really amazingly done. I absolutely loved the beginning of the movie. And I didn't think I'd be that into the beginning because I had already seen it. So I thought, okay, well, I've already seen this. But seeing it all play out the way it did, I was like, yeah, no, this is badass. Like, this is awesome. I'm enjoying every minute of it. It was just so good. And the reflections that they make in the movie I thought were really good too, where he's reflecting on the things that he's doing and the things that some of his friends have done in the movie, and and their stories, and it was just really, really, it was just really well done. And one thing I liked a lot too was the character interactions. His interactions with the villains I thought was really, really good and really well done. The individual interactions with the villains, his interactions with his friends, uh, teammates, friends, was really, really good. It was just a good movie. I mean, definitely, if you have the opportunity, definitely see this movie. It's well worth it. Is it safe to say that this is a top 3 Spider-Man film of all time? Yeah, I would say so, definitely. I mean, I would argue that it's. Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, the number one for me was probably Spider-Man 2, and then the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man Homecoming, but I mean, this is way up there. I mean, uh Andrew goes, it doesn't beat Spider-Man 2. I think in this case, based on who's in the movie, yeah, I would say I think it's better than Spider-Man 2 because it was just really cool. They did a lot of cool things in this movie, that just like made it really made it worth buying a ticket to go see it in the theater. I felt like I got my money's worth and then some. Like, yeah, I was like, yeah, this is why I pay to go to the movies, because to see a movie like this. And it was so rewarding to see this kind of movie. It was so cool. It's a really, really cool movie. And let's see. A Tom movie beats Tony Maguire. I'm in the Twilight Zone. Well, no, but at the same you're trying to bait me here. Cool. It sounds like they got a home run with this one. Awesome. No, I think they really did. And the movie itself, obviously, it's a Marvel movie, so it set up other movies that are going to follow this, and it did it in a really cool way. And it did it in a way where you know it doesn't forget about anything that's already happened, but it sets up so much more. So I was just like, yes, dude, that was freaking awesome, dude. Like, I fucking love the way they did that. Um, and so that's what I mean. It was a lot to take in. Yeah. And Abel, that's one thing that I was kind of bringing up earlier, was that like when you compared to what's coming up. Like the Flash movie. I'm telling you right now, like I'm excited as hell for the Batman, but we know that the Batman is in its own universe. So even if the Batman is as successful as it could be, if it's a, just a massive success, it doesn't really set up the DCEU moving forward. This movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, it set up the MCU moving forward in a really cool way, in a really great way. I mean, hands off, or yeah, round of applause for Kevin Feige. Like he nailed this one. And so that's why it's like when you look at DC, you have to say, okay, so with the Flash coming up, this literally has to be better. It has to be as good or better than Spider-Man No Way Home. It has to. If it falls short severely, then they're going to have a major problem on their hands, because you're telling me like, oh, well, we got the Batman and that did really good and everyone really loved that movie, but the one movie that really kind of brings home our DCEU universe, it sucked ass. It's kind of like, nah, you can't do that. And here you have a movie in the Flash that is going to bring in Michael Keaton's Batman. You're introducing a new Supergirl and Sasha Calle. You're likely gonna have cameos from Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and but they're gonna be in this version of reality. And I think that because of that, you have to hit all the points when it comes to the Flash. Because I mean, if you're WB, you're like, hey, well, we passed on this shit on all the Zack stuff because they wanted to go in a different direction and they thought that they could do a better job than go with the epic story that Zack Snyder had planned out. So a lot is riding, for me at least, a lot is riding on the Flash. Obviously, if it doesn't work out, it won't matter because they're gonna hit you with, uh, Black Adam and all the other shit. Let's see. We are all gonna wake up in the morning to news that the Flash has been canceled. No, I don't think it'll be canceled. I hope not. I hope it won't get canceled. That'd be horrible. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if I don't know about tomorrow, but definitely Monday. I would not be surprised if we got some kind of news about the Flash, because, well, I mean, it, and even that's hard to say too, because you have Black Adam and you have the Batman coming out before the Flash, so you know they're really focusing on that. And in fact, if they were smart, they probably wouldn't put anything out about the Flash because they don't want this to go up against it. What's going on, Gillis? What's up, buddy? He's a Patreon of the channel. Hey guys, big shout out to the Patreons and the members of the channel. These guys right here: Sickness, Kevin Cooley, Prakash Swain, Axel Droga, Fear Jason, DC Talk Extended, Duell McMillan, Kinky Sphincter, and Ramel FA. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and being a member. If you guys want to become a member, the link is down below in the description. And there's also a big fat join button right below the dislike button that you can click on and become a member to help support the channel. And of course, to all the Patreons as well, there's Gills right there on the top of the second row. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. It does a lot to keep this channel going and to, do a lot for my family as well. So thank you guys so much for supporting me and the channel. So I really, really appreciate that. But going back to Spider-Man, I mean, this is what this is about. This stream is about Spider-Man. It's about getting hype for this movie, and it was badass. I mean, I'm sorry, but like Spider-Man No Way Home was fucking cool. I thoroughly enjoyed Spider-Man No Way Home. I thought it was really, really cool. I'm trying to think what else we can talk about before I go into spoilers. It's going to be a shorter episode. I'm probably going to do this for about an hour because eventually I have to go to bed. But I just had to get this off my chest because there was no way that I could see a movie of this magnitude and not come on here and talk about it with you guys, because it's just too much fun. Let's see. Absolutely phenomenal film. Easy top 5 CBN of all time. Yeah. Yeah. I would say so. I think that when so putting it in the ranking of um, of MCU movies, I mean, this is right up there with my two favorites, my two top MCU movies, which is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Infinity War, and Spider-Man: No Way Home. Now, that's not really any kind of order, but I think that this movie is right up there with the top movies in the MCU. I mean, this was just like the third act was so over the top. It was so over the top that it was just like, holy crap, it was nuts, but it was so good. I was totally blown away by what they were able to pull off. Um, Nick, was the F4 in the movie? Oh, I don't want to spoil the movie, not yet. Actually, no, it wasn't. Lies, whatever, dude. I liked it. I thought it was a good fucking movie. Um, I mean, it is what it is, man. But I thought it was a good fucking movie. I really enjoyed it, and I think that there was a lot of nostalgia that was built into this movie, which definitely helped it. I know it definitely kind of brought me along, kind of biting off that nostalgia. Let's see. Sick that somebody hurt you. Geez, I think it's up there, but it's not beat the first two Raimi films. I mean, but they're both. I mean, the same Raimi films are drastically different from what we got in this movie. So, um, but still, I mean, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was such a cool movie. So we're gonna go for another few more minutes, and then we'll switch over to spoilers, and then we'll start to really dig into this movie. Have all you guys seen this movie, Gillis? It sounds like you've seen it already. I know Andrew saw it already. Sickness, he saw it his own way. And I know Jason, you're gonna see it later on Saturday. I want to say, definitely see it in the theater, man. It is well worth it. So definitely check that out. But when you look at like the villains, right? Let me see. Do I still have that thing? No, I don't. When you look at the villains of Spider-Man: No Way Home, I mean, I thought it was awesome how they were basically able to bring back almost every single villain and have them be a part of this. Um, and what's cool about it is that like is that you see the trailer for Morbius before Spider-Man: No Way Home, and you see Keaton's the Vulture in that movie. So you're like, it's almost like you got to see him too, even though it was only in a trailer. It was cool. Just giving you guys a hard time. Yeah, whatever, dude. Let's see. Yeah, thanks a lot, Integrity 101. Yeah, definitely check it out, man. It's a good movie. And here's Spider-Man.
Hey,
What's
how
going
we
on, man?
doing? Hey, how you doing? It seems like you love the movie. I
Yeah, no,
did
I
too.
liked it a lot. No, it was really cool. So now that Axel's here, I think what we'll do is we're gonna switch gears and we're going to go into the spoiler section of the show where now we can freely talk about the movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely put it on mute, walk away, and don't listen to this stream anymore because we're about to go into this movie and talk about all the things that we actually liked about this movie. So starting off in the beginning, man, the
Ah, now, if you know me well, you know that at first I was I'm not the biggest like MC Spider-Man fan. I'll admit that. At first I was like when he appeared in Civil War. I wasn't a big fan of Homecoming or Far From
mhm,
Home, but yeah, this one really this is the Spider-Man movie that I I knew they could make one. They're brilliant, but they're lazy in some cases. So yeah, like you can really tell this is that they've got their shit together. They've Yeah, pretty much that. Like I loved every single part of it. The
mhm.
acting, like Tom Holland, did a good job in this one. Him and Zendaya were really good. So and yeah, like I loved seeing all the villains again. Like yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was really cool, and seeing the villains come back was really cool. Jamie Foxx's character I thought was like way different from what he was in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it was still cool to
Yeah.
see him come back. What's up,
Hello.
Andrew?
Hey.
But I mean, the crowd went absolutely ape shit when both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire showed
I
up in the
did
movie.
not.
Oh,
I did not.
insane.
I
In
did not
freaking
think they'd
insane. Like
show
my
up.
You didn't think they were going to show up?
I mean, sure, there was the leaks, but I didn't think officially.
Yeah.
like oh god, insane. Like wait, so we're into spoilers, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I had
Oh,
the
okay.
banner.
Oh man, I
All
was.
right. Okay. So yeah, like
This
when
was my face when Toby showed up.
Yeah, everyone went crazy. Everyone was
like
like,
and
yeah!
everyone like was like so excited when they saw Daredevil back, that
Oh
Murdoch.
yeah, Charlie
That was
Cox. I
Yeah,
didn't put
Charlie
that
that was
Cox.
either.
so cool to see.
That was
Um,
cool because he was just there. Like, oh, all of a
Yeah.
sudden he's talking to him, and then bam, like he's in his,
He's like, I'm a
in
very
the
good
apartment with him.
lawyer.
Like, holy shit, yeah. And I liked how they didn't spend time like trying to like really introduce him or to be like, oh, I got you
Yeah,
an
they're
attorney
like,
or whatever.
just
He
throw
was
him
just
in there.
already there. Like, yo, I'm here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
And I loved
this
how
guy.
like they hinted at that he is Daredevil. Like it's not a new version of him. He's the same Daredevil.
Yeah, he's
The
the same
same
one from
guy.
the Netflix series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the same guy. And I agree with Sickness. I actually thought that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was the standout character of all three of them. I mean, look, Tom Holland did an amazing
I
job.
disagree, but oh well.
But I mean, no, I mean, like, I thought that Tobey Maguire did a good job. I'm
But
not
man, he
saying.
was old.
Well,
Oh
yeah,
god,
well, yeah,
yeah,
well,
he
he
looks
is
so old.
older,
Yeah,
but
he
I
is
mean,
older, but
he
like
didn't do a bad job whatsoever. But what I'm saying is that, like, I thought
Still got that same charm.
Andrew Garfield did a really good job and had a lot of care. He just had a lot to bring to the character, and it makes me wonder if after seeing this, if they're like, hey, you know what, maybe we should bring him back on in that Sony world, because we saw in the post credit scene you see Tom Hardy's Venom, and then he goes back to his world.
Which
So
yeah,
I didn't
like
even
essentially,
expect that.
why even put him in
Why
there if you're
even
not
bring
gonna
him
use
in?
him?
Just go bring him back.
Yeah.
because the symbiote got left behind, and so now you
Oh.
can do the symbiote version of a black suit
That
Spider-Man.
makes sense.
Flash Thompson gonna get it? That'd be cool. No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
Maybe,
that
yeah,
wimpy Flash.
or maybe it'll attach itself to like the space shuttle, and then it'll
Or
get on
maybe
the
Scorpion. Like he's still in that. He was in Homecoming, so yeah,
yeah.
possibly.
But I thought that was cool that he at least showed up, and then he's like, "Oh, well, what's going on?" And then he got taken back, and then but the part of the symbiote got left behind, which I was like, cool, because. Well, and that's the thing too, is that you can essentially recreate and make your own Venom in this world, and it doesn't have to be Tom Hardy. But the real question for me is, okay, so at the end of Venom Part 2, he gets pulled into the MCU. He sees Tom Holland on TV, and then and then at the end of No Way Home, he gets sent back to his world, to his universe.
Yeah.
So the question is that in his universe, is there even a Spider-Man?
I mean,
in
like
Venom's
we were all
world?
thinking that he was that he. I mean, I was hoping his movies would take place in Andrew Garfield's films.
That would make more sense. And so based
Yeah.
on, I mean, and that's the thing too, is that we don't even know if these guys want to continue to play Spider-Man. But I think it would be cool if Venom existed in Tom Holland's Spider-Man world. I think that would be really, really cool. But like I said, we don't even know. And for all we know, for all we know, both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are done with the character. They just came back for this movie.
Okay, well,
They thought it'd be
about
cool.
that, I'll just
Okay.
say this: if this
Was
is the only time I'll see Toby back, I think it was worth it.
Yeah, no, definitely. But and that's the thing too, is that like his character. Okay, so his character came and went, didn't die, which I thought was really
Thank
cool.
goodness, thank
Holy
goodness.
I know,
crap!
for a
I was
minute, I
so
was like,
scared
dude, don't
about
tell
that.
me he's
All
gonna
you guys
die.
wanted him gone.
I know.
Who's
I'm
left
sure
now?
Andy Beltray was like, he's gonna die. Like, yes, no, but I
He's
mean,
like, I've been stabbed before.
but when they were talking, he even told Andrew Garfield, like, yeah, we managed to work things out.
Yeah, him and
And-
MJ. I'm
yeah,
glad.
and so, but it kind of gives a resolution to his character in terms of like what's happening in his world, and so, but what it also does is it seemed to also kind of open up the possibility that there's still more story to be told
And I
for
want
Andrew
that.
Garfield. That's what I
Oh,
felt
wait
like.
for Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, because I mean, he hasn't met MJ yet.
Or like the
there
deleted scenes, like
right, but like he hasn't met a Mary Jane in his world. In his world, he's only had Gwen Stacy. So like, there's still that possibility that like, hey, let's say they say, hey, let's have him be the Spider-Man in the Sony universe, because now they have clearly defined that Tom Hardy is in his own universe, which is essentially the Sony Spider-Man universe. But what I haven't figured out yet is, where does Morbius exist? Because you see
We won't know
Oscorp
until next
building
year.
in the trailer. You see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in the background on that one poster behind him. You see Michael Keaton's the Vulture. So it's kind of like, where does
freaking
he?
mess.
At first, I thought that the universes were all merged into one, but that's not look like the case.
And like he also does say in one of the doesn't he say in one of the new trailers that he says like, "Oh, I'm Venom," like as like a joke or something. But like,
Yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
so like,
So
like it
that's
makes
the
sense
thing,
if it's
is
like
that
this and that.
we don't know where he is. I know that was
Yeah,
really cool to see Daredevil, Charlie
yeah.
Cox. I was
His
like,
show is
fuck
now
yeah,
canon. His show's now canon.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, I would say it's canon because I mean, for the most part, it existed in the MCU. I mean, they refer to the Avengers every so often. I mean, they'd be like, oh yeah, like the events that happened in New York. So I mean, for the most, like, you could say, yeah, that this was in the MCU. That's fine. And I'm glad that. So here's my thing: is that like the fans wanted Charlie Cox to come back, and
That's
so they
right.
brought him back, and they said, "Yeah, the fans want him back. Let's bring him back." I wish they would have done this with these two guys a lot sooner, but hey, we'll see what happens. But I
But
thought that was really cool to see him come back.
I will say one thing. Even though I thought like Willem Dafoe knocked it out of the park, I thought it was weird at first. Like right after we saw him on the bridge, we see him in the alleyway, and then he suddenly destroyed his goblin mask.
Well, yeah, I mean, he destroyed it pretty easily too. It was like, well, if you did
I
that,
was like, I wanted to see him more in that suit again.
yeah, I actually like that suit too. But and like the way he broke it, I was like, dude, so Spider-Man would have punched you, would that have just broken off your
Yeah, I
face?
mean, like every time we saw him punch
Ah!
the mask, it didn't break.
Yeah,
Mm.
so I mean, and for the story, it made sense. And plus, I mean, what they did do with his character was, after he broke that mask, he had the hood and then he had the
Yeah,
goggles.
that look was okay.
But
Hey,
that's
was it just me, or did like we barely saw Toby like Maguire in the mask, other than like when he was like swinging around or
Is that
stuff
an
like that,
issue?
and it looked really CGI.
It's
I don't know
okay.
if it was
I
just
was
me.
okay with it.
a little bit.
I was okay
It
with it.
did look a bit CGI.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought it was
I just
cool
love
that.
seeing him back in his glory.
Well, I thought it was cool to see of the shot where all three of them
We're
are
standing
attacking.
together on the statue.
Oh yeah.
Where like they're attacking the villains, and you see Lizard get hit, and it was just like, yep. I was like, there it
Yeah,
is.
we
There's
knew
that
it. We
shot.
knew
That,
it.
yeah, everybody knew that one. And then the shot where Andrew Garfield is hanging on that pole and he's talking to the
Yeah.
other two. I was like, oh, there it is. There, I was like, there's a shot. There it is, right there. So that, I mean, and
Oh,
it
and can
shows
I
you.
say that when Toby Maguire's Peter was talking with Octavius, I kind of teared up a little.
Really.
Yeah, because he was
It,
like,
it,
Peter, you growing up? How are you, boy? Trying to do better. I love that.
yeah, that was really good.
And like when MJ, well, Michelle or MJ like was falling down, Andrew said
Andrew
that
Garfield saved him.
the entire
Yeah.
audience like was like "aw" and like stuff like and
Oh
every
Oh my
yeah.
god! I
yeah,
know
and they
my
kind of
sickness hates
teared up.
Toby, all because it's cheesy.
Mm.
Well, and then right here, it's like, honestly, with all three of them together, I mean, Andrew's portrayal stand out much more than the others. Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think Andrew Garfield's a better actor than all three of them,
And that's what you think, and that's fine.
No, that's fine. I'm saying I just think acting wise, I think he's better than the other two.
Well, can I say, I did get a laugh when Toby was like, "The Avengers? That's great. What is that?"
Yeah, who are the
Yeah, it was
Avengers?
cool.
Like,
It was
you
cool
don't
for
have an
him to
event.
say that word, Avengers. Like,
Yeah,
it
he's
just
like,
got chills.
you don't have Avengers in your world. He's like, what?
How is this
No.
happening?
Well,
Yeah,
no, because we're
exactly.
owned by Sony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He's like, magic exists in this world. What? You know?
Yeah, they're finally learning about other heroes.
And I loved how when Andrew says "Oh, I'm so lame," and everyone is and the other Spider-Man are like, "No, you are not lame. You're anything but lame."
Okay, I'll give Toby props for telling him he was amazing. I'll give him that.
Well, so so now when you look back on like the Venom 2 end credit scene, now we understand what was happening in that scene, because before we were like, what the fuck, what's going on? Because all of a sudden, like everything moves around and he's in a different apartment, and then he's like, this guy right here, you know what I mean? And you see Tom
And he's
Holland
like,
on the
"Bye-bye,
TV.
I'm going back."
Yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on? So yeah, he got pulled into uh the MCU universe, uh which I thought, so I was like, cool, so that explains that. So they were able to work together with Sony to kind of put that together. And so it makes me think too, so if because Tom Hardy does the voice for Venom, right?
Mhm.
So it makes me wonder if that piece of the symbiote, if it gets on somebody else, is it going to have the same voice as the one
Ooh,
the
that's a good
Tom Hardy
Yeah,
voice?
question.
true.
That's a good question.
And so
I'm not
then
sure.
that's a way
Sure.
of keeping Tom Hardy essentially, not essentially, but like theoretically involved in the MCU if he's still doing the voice for Venom,
You
or
know,
does it is it based on whoever it's attached to?
that could be funny because even though since it's the Tom Hardy symbiote, maybe like if it is attached just to Tom, he could be Tom Holland doing the voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We
Don't
simply don't
imagine that.
know.
Yeah, I don't
I
really.
don't
I
think
don't
he'll
And
be
know.
doing
also,
it.
so we were talking about
Yeah.
the Venom post credit scene. We forgot about the second post credit scene that had the
Yeah,
Strange.
yeah, that was
So that was
pretty
Doctor Strange too.
significant. Yeah,
That
Doctor
was
Strange too.
I didn't stay around for the second one. I just
You what?
what?
Yeah, I didn't stay around for the second one. I'm like,
The second one was
oh,
longer too. It was
Yeah, it was
essentially a
supposed to be a
trailer
trailer.
for, yeah. I mean, and
what?
it essentially it establishes, because remember when he shows up, when Doctor Strange shows up at the end, he goes, I've been dangling over the
The Grand Canyon
Grand
for 12
Canyon,
hours.
but and I could be wrong, but it felt like what we were watching was basically while he was trapped in the
Wait, you think
mirror
he went through
realm.
the events of his movie while being in the Grand
Yeah,
Canyon?
I think everything we're gonna see in this movie is everything he was doing during this movie.
Really? Wow.
Oh, wow.
I think I
That
could
be
be
a bit of a
wrong.
stretch, but
I could be wrong. Well, because
yeah.
you didn't see him for quite a long time, and it's called the Multiverse of Madness. So
But
he would
I
be.
will say one thing
Go
about
ahead.
that trailer. I know he hasn't seen it, but so at the end of that trailer, was that Strange Supreme from the What If series?
Yes, that was.
I mean, he looks different from how we saw him in the
So
cartoon.
yeah, so he showed
Well,
up at the
maybe because
very
it's live
end.
action.
Yeah, so and I knew that was gonna happen too, because like as soon as as it started to go on, I was like, and what's funny actually is that I almost thought when he showed back up again, because when Strange showed up at the end of Spider-Man, he has scratches on the side of his face, and I was like, where did he get those from? Because he wasn't under
Oh,
attack or anything.
Yeah.
So
I was,
so
what?
and it makes sense now, because it's like, oh, he was, and so that's why I was saying, like, I felt like the the movie Multiverse of Madness takes place when they left him in the mirror realm. Like
that would be
that's
pretty weird if they do
and,
that.
What do you
then
think
he
gave
stuck
him that scratch? Could have been
well, it could have been during a battle with anybody, but I think that it's he's stuck there and he has to find his way out. Because remember they took, like, that ring that he wears
He's like,
to open up
ow.
portals. Yeah, they took that. He took all the shit from him. So he was just like, oh crap. Let me see. Tom Hardy will probably play a variant Eddie Brock in Tom Holland's universe.
That
Who
could
knows at this
work.
point?
That
I
could
mean,
work.
it could be, but I mean, Tom Hardy went like like that. You saw him go back to his universe. He was like, "Wait, we just got here," and to me, that was just a way of getting the symbiote to be in the MCU. So I feel like it's going to like we're going to be introduced to a whole new Eddie Brock.
Topher Grace.
A whole new actor, you mean?
Yeah, Topher Grace. I think you kind of have to. I mean, they established that the same actor does not need to play the same character in each universe. I mean, you had Toby, you had the actor, you had Toby, you had Andrew Garfield, and you had Tom Holland. So, and they were all Spider-Man, but they're all different actors. So you can have another
the same
actor.
J. Jonah Jameson actor, J.K. Simmons.
They did. He's bald in this one though, and the other one he had hair.
When you think about because of this movie, the events of Toby's trilogy and Andrew's 2 films are now canon to the multiverse.
Let me see. Because you got a bootleg version. That's why you didn't see it.
What did he do?
Oh, and I almost forgot. I did like the references this movie made, like the back joke, and I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The back joke was great. He was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, his back." He's like, "Oh, my back." He's always that was in was it Spider-Man 2 when he jumps and falls
and
it's a car,
like an actual injury he had.
Yeah, but which reminds me, I did like Maguire and Garfield's chemistry together.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was just really cool, and
oh yeah, I almost forgot they made a joke about his organic webs.
Yes, that was really cool that they did that. He was like, "What's that?" He was like, "They're web shooters."
And he's like, "Yeah."
He's like, and then he shoots his, and they're like, "You make it on your own?" He was like, "Yeah." You guys don't do that? And they're like, "No, I have to make mine in a lab. It takes hours."
He mentioned about the web block he had in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, he talked about that. They were like, "Do you
and he
shoot
talked about how
webs
he fought Venom in Spider-Man 3.
Did he?
Yeah, an alien made of black goo.
Oh yeah. That's right, he did. I was like, that was.
He fought a rhinoceros.
Yeah, Andrew was like, yeah. They say he found a rhinoceros.
I am the rhino.
And you actually saw the rhino, or like the,
I thought I saw
the silhouette
in the portals.
Yeah, you saw the silhouette of the rhino, and I was like, oh shit.
Is that the cover version, or is that Paul Giamatti?
I don't. I think they purposely just left it ambiguous. What?
He said he's gonna clap cheeks in a full-on interview. I don't think
I didn't see that, but
what's going on? He did.
He's like, notice my comment.
Sorry. Like, can we talk about like the villains? Like, I really loved like the consistency they had. Like, I love how like Sandman, he's great. I love him. I love Thomas.
That was actually that was Thomas Hayden Church's voice.
No, that was his. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him. Probably
that was him
in mocap, and until the very end, where you actually see him,
which
I thought was really cool.
Yeah, was that cool archive footage?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it looked, and same with Dr. Connors. Like,
Sandman coming up and showing his hands.
It looks too familiar.
It might have been, but I wasn't sure. But I thought that the lizard looked a little weird. I felt like they purposely kind of like had him like darkened, because in the Amazing Spider-Man, you could see all the details on him like throughout the whole movie. And this one, it kind of seemed like they had him in the shadows a little bit, because they were like, "Hey, let's just shadow him up a little bit."
They call him a dinosaur.
Yeah, so
but I will say
that spend too much time detailing him.
One scene that gave me chills was Norman Osborn talking to Otto Octavius.
Yeah, that was cool.
They knew each other, like,
yeah,
that was odd. Otto knew who Norman was.
Well, because they're both scientists, and they're
somewhat of a scientist.
Somewhat of a scientist, but like they both would have, dealt with each other, in their world. And I liked how
Cruz asking me a question.
Thoughts on Tom Spider-Man?
Okay, I'll admit, this was the first movie that I actually liked this version, but I'm still a Toby fan.
Well, yeah, but I thought he did a good job. Aunt May dying, I thought was pretty crazy, because
I kind of expected her to die.
Someone had to die.
Well, I didn't think she was gonna die. I really didn't.
I kind
But
of expected it to be her,
but
and it didn't really hit me.
well, yeah, but I mean, they turned her into Uncle Ben, and
Which sucked. They even had her say
but
the line. They even had her say the
they
line.
had her say the line. Now, but the thing too is that so this leads me to believe that like Uncle Ben never existed in his world.
Yeah, that's what I
I
thought.
mean,
So
in the
it's
What If zombie episode, like they mention Uncle Ben, but what if?
I was happy
But what?
Toby mentioned Uncle Ben, but
they
that's it.
both
Yeah,
mention Uncle Ben, him and Andrew Garfield, and
like,
what?
but like it would have been like it was left out in the open. Like, could he like? I wish Tom would have said something like that. Like he would have said, "What's an Uncle Ben?" or something. I don't know. Like they just,
Yeah,
I just want.
they missed out on that.
Well,
Mm.
but I think they purposely left that open for some reason. I'm not sure what it is. I think my take on it was that Uncle Ben just didn't really exist in this
Which
world,
sucks. Because
right? And so
He's a
instead of
big part.
right, but so I think they thought, okay, well, instead of trying to reestablish the Uncle Ben character, we'll just make it Aunt May said this. And then Aunt May dies, and then he has to deal with it. But see, the hard part is that now that this is over, nobody remembers who he is. And so he's
which
truly all by himself now. And he's
which
still
is
being
I'm glad
Spider-Man.
is
But now what you can do is you can essentially have a standalone Spider-Man movie or trilogy
which I've
that
been
doesn't have
wanting for so
to
long.
it doesn't have to connect to the Avengers,
So
the rest of
no
the
Avengers
MCU.
know who he is. Okay.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah. Even
does.
Doctor Strange, he even's like, nice knowing you, Spider Man.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Oh, okay.
that was kind of interesting because now I think that now they can kind of have him explore. They can do whatever they want with him. They can
Ooh,
even have him do the multiverse again and go to they can do anything because it doesn't affect anybody else because nobody else knows about him.
I
So
also
that
thought
was
some. I
interesting.
also have another theory.
And he has a
When
new
all the
suit.
Oh, that
characters,
suit is
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
freaking good.
dude.
It's the
it's much
suit we all
brighter.
want.
Yeah,
So much. Oh, the blue. Oh,
yeah, it looked really, really cool.
It looked good. It's not great, but it looked good. But
But
I also have another theory. When the Spider Mans and the villains were sent back, I think that Toby and Andrew were sent back to the original timeline where their movies still happened, but the villains were sent back to an alternate versions of those movie timelines where they never died,
so it's like a
yeah,
safe haven or something like that.
like a branch timeline that
yeah,
Endgame did.
pretty much. And then I think what that does too is that it gives you the ability to reintroduce those characters again in future installments or even on the animation side. You can have a story that involves one of those characters because now they're not dead, they're living in their own variation of their timeline. So I think that's kind of cool. It looked like the PS4 game suit. Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah, it did sort of, but
Really?
like more red. Like in the PS, like
Oh,
before the advanced suit, it's
now
more.
now Marcus has a good point. That's true. They do know who Spider-Man is. They just don't know about who Peter Parker is.
I
So,
mean,
which
no,
is kind of tricky because I mean, it's like, how do you not? I thought whoever knew who
yeah. Who else
who
knew
that
about him besides
it's
Tony Stark?
well, I mean, Happy knew about him. All the
Is he
Avengers
an
knew
Avenger?
about him for the
well,
most
but
part.
here's the thing: like some of the Avengers, like Captain America, they didn't know who was under the mask. The only people who knew who was under the mask was Doctor Strange and Tony.
Yeah, but I mean, they were even like, I mean, yeah, that's true. But you would think after the blip they would know who he was, but I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out. But
Ugh, the
guys,
blip.
thank you so much for coming on here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off because I got to get to bed because I got to work in the morning. But
Mm-hmm.
dude, 1 out of 10. What do you guys give Spider-Man: No Way Home? Well, I'll start with Axel.
This is tricky for me. I'm gonna have to say a 7.5.
7.5. All right, Andrew.
Well, that's a tough thing, but if I can share it real quick, I made a list right here of all the movies.
Let me see.
Ooh.
So Spider-Man 2, Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 3, really,
Yep.
and then Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, so it's up there. It's a good movie. I love that it brought all the characters back, but it's not as good as Toby's films.
Is that an actual poster, like where he's like
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, it
was.
was.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
for this movie, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really, really good. Like I said,
I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
There was some special effects that I thought looked like shit, like on the bridge scene. I was kind of like, but as it went on, and as we got into the third act, it fucking was so good, dude. I was like, dude, this is badass. And there's so much to build off of this movie, because now you know that coming up in the next Spider-Man.
Wait, hold on a second.
What?
Marcus Cruz says Andrew or Toby are rumored to return in Secret Wars with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
That's from Daniel RPK. Well, I mean, if that turns out to be true, that'd be pretty awesome, but we don't know. We still don't know. So
I met Hugh Jackman. He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
So next time you meet him, just ask him, say, hey, so are you gonna
be
Hi,
Secret Wars?
mate. How you doing? You gonna be in Secret Wars? In Act 2 Secret now.
All right, you guys. So I will see you guys back on Monday for the Nicotina show. This has been the Spider-Man No Way Home reaction party. Non-spoiler for the first half, spoilers for the second half. We'll see you guys next time, and thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you smash the like button, become a member, join the Patreon, smash the like, all that good shit, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.